back on YouTube. I gotta tell you guys what my priorities are these days. I ain't been in the gym. I ain't been on it, but I have been on it. I've been sacrificing a lot of stuff that I love doing, like the gym, cutting hair, YouTube content. It just took the back seat because we had to do a lot of on the business stuff. But today my focus is on the barbershops, our wet line products, education. Those are my three focuses. And then a bonus is gonna be the clippers and trimmers. But the clippers and trimmers kind of have a life of its own. People are loving them, they're doing great. And I gotta thank you guys for all the support through the years. But now it's time to really lock in, and I'm gonna start documenting this, I'm gonna vlog. But we're focused on the barbershops. And when I say wet products, I mean the Tune 45 hairstyling products. Education, continuing to pour into the barber industry and try to, you know, be a source of growth for it. Now, with that being said, by the end of this video, I'm gonna take you guys with me on the road. We're gonna hit a couple spots here. So one is a potential space we might be turning into a barbershop. I'll show you guys kind of the process, the things that I look at, that type of thing, when we're exploring a potential barbershop space. And then I'm gonna take you guys to the newest barbershop that we just opened. It's booming. I just got a fresh cut over there. I just took a nap, so it might look like trash, but it's blurry, I can tell, I promise you. Shout out to Tito on YouTube. Now, with that being said, man, I have to really lock in, and I have to have daily disciplines, and I have to have a source of truth that I can look at and see how we're performing, what KPIs I'm gonna need. So we're gonna build that out probably this week, and every day I'm just gonna take a look at it, take notes, and try to get better every single day. Enough on the business, I need to get on the ground and getting tactical, unfortunately and fortunately. I say that to ask you guys, you know, I got 3 in a bonus of my focuses. Have you ever sat down and wrote those down? What are your focuses? A lot of times we don't really do that, right? And so I have it on my, what I do is on my phone, you guys can see, I put it on my phone, my top 3 things that I need to do as my wallpaper. Every day I see it, I'm reminded. It's almost stressful because it gives you anxiety, like, damn, did I take care of that? Damn, did I take care of that? Damn, did I get a little bit better at that? And the reason why that's important, guys, is because it shifts your mindset. And it almost like forces you. You're gonna get distracted, don't get me wrong. You're gonna start veering this way and this way, but it's gonna keep you, you know, from veering too far off track sometimes. At least better than nothing. It ain't a perfect system, it ain't a perfect solution, but it helps, right? And then we need to understand what we're trying to accomplish. Now we know what we're gonna do. What are we gonna try to accomplish with each of those things? So for the barbershop, we're opening 3 barbershops a year or better. That's the goal. For wetline, I wanna grow the revenue sales on wet lines by 100%. But first, I need to know what the numbers currently are now and see where I can realistically get it by the end of the year, because this is like the first year we're selling wet products like that. And then for 2026, I'll have a real idea of what 100% growth is gonna look like. And then for education, we need to take a look at what we have going on right now. 6FB mentorship. We haven't toured in years. And so the in-person education ain't really there, but we've been doing shows, but we're not really on stages and stuff. We're just kind of, you know, just showing up and saying what's up to everybody. And that's cool, but it's not like education and the YouTube content. So I gotta get up on the YouTube content, and I wanna get back on tour. And the 6FB mentorship, we gotta keep growing that and improving it and making it even more value than it is now for the money. One of the beautiful things is that in 2025, you got ChatGPT. And so you could just kind of talk to it, tell it what's on your mind, and ask it to organize your thoughts. Ask it to do deep research on yourself, who you are. If it doesn't already know a little bit about who you are, it probably will, because it's like most people have been using ChatGPT, I think, right? But just ask it to put together top 3 things for you. You'd be surprised what it comes back with. All right, you guys, we are here with my dog, Nate. Nate, you want to tell him what's going on, bro? You want to tell him what's going on?
Yes, listen, man, I've been around the team for about 8 years now, and they always had a motto: if you find a shop, they'll partner with you if the situation lines itself the right way. One day I was coming home from work. Don't even take this way home from work. And right now I'm commuting an hour. And I was coming home from work one day and I saw a for lease sign. And I didn't pay attention to where I was looking at first. I started paying attention to everything that was around it. A school, a library, and then I was 15 minutes away from home. I'm like, hold on a second. Swung back, got the phone numbers, came to see it 2 times before I even mentioned it to them. And here we are now, a month later.
Ooh, we got the keys already.
Got the keys
Now I do want to say something. We don't partner with just anybody. Nate is somebody who has built with us, has grown with us, and has been part of the growth, has been instrumental to it. So we partner with people, man, that bring something to the table, man.
You had shit tied down. You visited this twice before you presented
I visited
it.
by myself and with my wife. So my wife could give me more of the real estate. My wife's a real estate agent, so she gave me more of the real estate side of things to make sure that when I presented it, it would be undeniable, and that's exactly what it was.
Now, this is not a normal plaza, bro. It's like a,
I want to say like a wellness, because if you look at all the businesses in here, it's all to do with wellness. Coaching and empowering, so it's everything to do with health. So it kind of fits right into what we got going on.
all right, bro, you got the keys. You want to show us the space?
Yeah,
This is my first time looking at it. Damn, they already started the construction.
Yeah,
Them boys ain't playing.
No, it came in quick. Knocked down 2 walls already, which opened up this area now. Originally, we weren't knocking down no walls.
Yeah.
But for the right price, you do the right things.
What are we doing? Like what's the strategy here?
All right, so the strategy was, again, this just happened over the weekend. So now that we knocked down the walls, we're gonna keep the stations along the wall. And what we did was
How many stations do you think we're gonna fit along
I
this wall?
measured it out on this wall alone. We did 3 42-inch 2 chests with mirror and station right in front of it. And doing the measurements, we'll be able to fit at least 5 to 6 going down this wall.
Okay.
Straight down this wall. And me and Dan are still figuring out this one. We're thinking about doing 2 chairs here, removing these cabinets, and having 2 stations right here as well. Another one right there as well. And again, we're still playing with because this wasn't originally part of the original plan. Like we were just gonna work with turnkey. It was turnkey for us in our mind. But to make it more inviting, we opened up the floor. So because we opened up the floor now we're able to put at least 2 to 3 more stations around here and have a nice way in here.
That's
So right now, we have the bathroom here. Nice size bathroom.
Yeah, perfect. Built to code, got the handicap bars, all that stuff. We ain't gotta do nothing there.
And this is suite, another suite. And again, like I said, each suite already have one entrance.
Yeah, we gotta improve the lighting.
Yeah, we're definitely doing the lighting. So where our water heaters at. Closet space right here. Another suite, another water hookup.
Yeah.
And then this is a huge one that I can see us later down the road knocking down this wall to continue it all the way back here. This is a 2-person suite.
It's a 2-person suite, yeah.
Easily. That we
Water hookup. Yep. When are we trying to open by?
The goal is by November.
By November.
By November, that's the goal. I want to catch
holiday rushes.
before the holiday rush. You want to do it strategically, right?
Yeah.
So November, December, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas. Catch the overflow. People coming in town, they may need a cut. You know, people come home from college, things of that nature. You want to capitalize on it.
We're pretty much on pace to what we said, right? Like I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. When I decided to get my stuff together.
It was 2 years ago. I remember Nate and I sat down. We had a real conversation. You know, talked about shit that, you know, Nate got vulnerable and he shared, you know, everything that was going on in his life with his business, his finances, everything. And we just sat down, we put together a plan, and it was supposed to be a 2-year plan. And 2 years later, everything we said we was gonna do, bro, we're here.
Yeah.
And it's because Nate made a decision, bro. You've been so disciplined, man, and it's just, it was inevitable. I'm so happy for you, bro. But Nate showed up. Nate made this happen. He found the place. He learned the skill sets. He learned the information he needed to do to know what was a good deal. And he has the conviction because first he opened Sun Lake. It was already open. We closed it down for how many?
2 months.
We closed it down for 2 months. He started from scratch. Meanwhile, we had 2 barbershops we just opened 2 miles away from it. So we didn't know if it was gonna be successful. And now how many barbers at that location? 11 barbers at that location. So now he has the experience, the conviction. This looks exactly like what he's already done the last 2 years. Just gonna do it again.
That's it. It's gonna be light work.
And then in a year from now, let's find the next one.
Yeah.
What the hell?
We're gonna document this.
This is beautiful, man. I'm so happy for you, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Let's get it.
Let's go.
And I'm on my way to look at another location that we may be interested in. So we'll take a look at it. I'm pulling in now, and I can tell you already, it looks like there's a lot of money being poured into this area. It's because I see a lot of construction, I see a lot of new businesses, They just put a Raising Cane's not too far from here. This plaza has medical stuff, nail bar, sushi, grill, right across the street from a Publix. We love Publixes. We love being near Publix. So now I want y'all to keep in mind, this is breaking kind of one of my first rules. As far as hell, it's 30 minutes away from anything else. What I was saying is it's 30 minutes away from any of our nearest barbershops. It's a lot of work. This is a barbershop that's been here a long time. It's huge though, but this is gonna need some money, boy. We don't really care that much about this back room, but whatever. Like, this is where the barbers hang out. We're here to make money, baby, so probably breaking down these walls. Now, I know it looks like, I know. It looks like it probably has good bones. This is the plaza, so plenty of parking. You know when people say you want to own the building that your shop is in? I'm not buying this building, bro. You know, how much would this building be? $20 million more, right? No, but there's everything that a community kind of needs. A lot of the heavy lifting is done. That's all cosmetic. That's flooring, tear down some walls that are not load bearing, bring in our paint, bring in our furniture, bring in our branding, and bring in our culture, and it's a wrap. We're gonna win no matter where we go. So, talked to the realtor, got a little bit of an update. All those walls, all that flooring, the ceiling tiles that look crazy, all that's gonna be ripped out by the time we get possession of the property. What I'm gonna do now is drive around the area. There's not a lot of jobs here, Danny was showing me. There's no jobs. People drive away for jobs, but there's a lot of residential. So what I wanna do is I wanna drive around and I wanna see the community for myself. Because just because the income is low doesn't mean the household income is low, doesn't mean it's not a community that cares about haircuts and might spend more money than your typical household income, or at least come more frequent. So age is gonna matter here, but I got a feeling this is an older community too, so we're gonna have to see. These apartments are right next to, you guys can see here, are right next to the plaza. I'm gonna come in here, and I got a feeling it's not the best looking apartments. Yeah, they're older. It might be income restricted, right? And that's not gonna be very helpful to the business case if it is. I don't like to judge too much, but when I see patterns, I know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And look what I just see, right across the street, there's a beauty school. I'm going right over there to that beauty school. There's some kids outside, and I'm gonna go talk to them. Excuse me, how you guys doing? Good. Is there a barber program at this school? No? Okay. All right, thank you, appreciate it. Beauty supply store. The area's a little bit rough though, as far as a community, a lot of older businesses, a lot of older stuff, but that, again, like we have a location, the closest thing that would be to this is Carrollwood, but Carrollwood's much more rich. Like the household income in Carrollwood is, I think it's like 120, 130, where here it's like 80. I gotta take my dog to the groomer, so.
Oh, did it have a lot of people in there? I didn't even see.
So I just got my hair cut. As you can see, Tito put me in the game. But this is where the shop is, the new shop. Beautiful part of town. It's called Channelside. The guys, they be holding the sign and chilling there or whatever, but check it out. This is the front of the shop. We still gotta get the signage up, but we're gonna do like something light, nothing crazy, because that's like the style of this whole building. 245 Barbershop. We use a straight razor. Channelside location. You guys can see the shop. We got product displayed on the wall there. That we built in. There was no businesses here before. It's the first business. We got product there. So all this was built, you know, from the ground up, man, custom. So we just did the floors and stained them, put a gloss over it. Made it look a little nicer, a little minimal. So Tito, see you, bro. So if y'all know Tito Cuts on YouTube, y'all know this the shop right here where he makes the magic happen. Let me get a smoothie while I'm here. But this shop is booming, bro. We're on our third week and it's already walking city. It's amazing. God is good. Ah shit, new vlogging lands. Let's go. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays mornings, we have meetings. Every Monday, I have a call with my intimate, we call it the snowball group. And then every Tuesday afternoon at 12, I have another call with the mentorship, the 6FB mentorship program. As soon as those meetings are over though, it's straight to work, man. I'm telling you.
Hola.
What's up, hola?
Yo, so I have recently, I don't know if you guys know Abba and Preach. I've been watching these guys for, man, so long, and it's because they cover a lot of interesting topic, a lot of stuff that requires critical thinking. For it's a lot of it's philosophy, it's morals, it's politics. So anyways, they were live streaming and they were debating over Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Regardless of what y'all think, I've watched 100 hours of his content, and although I disagreed with 30% of the things he said, some of his solutions were out of touch in my opinion. Some of his perspectives about poverty and children, the free meals thing was just out of touch in my opinion. But none of it did I see as hatred. There were clips that sounded like hatred, and then when you watch the full videos, you hear the context. I just don't think that he was fueled with hatred. He had too much God in his spirit. And so I say that to say, in this debate, regardless of who you thought was right or wrong between Abba and Stevie Knight, that's the video I'm talking about, Abba and Stevie Knight, they both said religion is not logical. And I was kind of disappointed a little bit, because I'm like, man, these guys are so smart. But if they had God in their lives, bro, it's a wrap. So anyways, I wanted to unpack that. If I was in that room debating with them, I would have called them out, but how would I have addressed it? And this is what I came up with. So I wrote it down. So if you guys follow me on Facebook, a lot of my thoughts I write out on Facebook. So anyways, this is what I said. So for atheists, logic usually means what can be observed, tested, or proven scientifically. Anything supernatural doesn't fit the framework. But believers point out that that logic also includes philosophy, morality, and purpose. The universe shows order and design, that morality points to a higher source, and humans crave meaning. Think about all the things that we human beings have no understanding of. We don't even know the logic of the ocean, of the universe, of space. There's so many things that we have no idea exist, species we've never seen before. We don't know what they can do, and I guarantee you some of these are going to seem like miracles, but it'll be a thing of the past, right? Just like a lot of things we've discovered as a human race, right? And so to me, that's not against logic. It's just a deeper kind of logic. So the real difference is not about logic itself. It's about what assumptions you start with. See, atheists assume nothing exists beyond the material world. Believers see evidence of something more. And if God is real, then what could be more logical than following the one who created logic itself? Somebody had asked me a question, and I could tell that it was in good faith. I left a really long response. I'm gonna read it to you guys right here. So the first thing he asked was, what's God? How would you define that? And I said, God is the one who made everything. He was never made. He has always been and always will be. I mean, if everything depends on something else, a tree needs soil, water, and sun. We need food, air, and each other. And somebody had comments in here earlier. Science as a study is that nothing starts from nothing. Like, that's what science is, and that's what atheists believe in the most. So by that statement alone, you cannot be an atheist and not believe in religion, because that's the only answer that we have for where we came from. There has to be something supernatural that happened. There has to be someone supernatural that comes from nothing. And who is that? That's God. Without God, nothing would be here. And he responded to that with, understood. Just wanted to know which frame of God you are subscribed to. So what would you say you disagree with about the other frames, models of a creator? This was a good question, and I think that he probably leans towards being either an atheist or agnostic, which I've been there. And that's what at least the questions made me feel like, but I didn't want to judge, right? And I wanted to give him grace. And so I'm just assuming maybe he's learning, or maybe not. Maybe he has his mind made up and he's just trying to, ask questions to get me to lean a certain way, right? So anyways, this was my response to it. So it's gonna be a little bit long, but you asked great questions and I can tell you asked them in good faith. So I wanted to give you the best answer I could. I'm a Christian. I wasn't really a Christian until adulthood. After some dark times, I always believed in God, but for most of my life, I would say say I would call myself agnostic more than anything. Definitely never an atheist. In my lowest moments, when I felt like I had no one who truly understood me, I looked for answers. I went to therapy and I tried different things, but the answers that gave me real peace always came from the Bible. And the biggest reason was Jesus Christ. That was the defining factor for me. You know, I looked at Islam and the Quran, and I looked at, you know, I was baptized a Mormon, right? And I know that's a form of Christianity, but it's not like, you know, it's different. It's different. When I was a kid, my mom explored every religion because, God rest her soul, man, she just always felt pushed away from churches. And that was kind of like how I felt about churches, was witnessing what my mother was going through, searching for her faith and answers, you know. It makes me sad. But anyways, when I read about Jesus Christ, it was different to me. You know, I come from a broken family where drugs, prisons, and violence tore apart so much of our potential. And deep down, I always felt called to be something greater, to change my family tree. And, you know, I'm 36 now. I've been with my wife for 20 years. I believed in being faithful. I believed in a family, a nuclear family. I believed in the importance of husband and wife and marriage. And everything that I've built, my businesses, my success, even becoming a millionaire, it's always been rooted in servant leadership and changing lives. You know, my mission has always been to grow, to impact others, and to change my family tree. And so when I found Jesus, I found the perfect man. I found the example of what it means to live with purpose, love, and sacrifice. I also came to realize how much historical evidence there is for him. I didn't even know this. Like, I used to think, even when I would go to a Christian church, the Bible was just stories. As ignorant as that sounds, almost embarrassed by it these days. But the Bible isn't just stories. It's backed by more manuscripts and artifacts than any other figure in history. So if you believe in Julius Caesar, then you got to believe in Jesus. So for me, it's not about finding flaws in other models of God. It's that I found the truth, the answer that gave me a real relationship with God. I'm not interested in debunking other people's beliefs and religions. So I thought those were great questions, and I just kind of want to share that. You know, I felt it in my heart to share that. But now I wanted to show you guys this as well. And you guys let me know if these vlogs are getting too long. You know, this is what I plan on doing, is shooting one video a week. We're going on tour, 6-city tour for the first 6 months. We're gonna do a city every single month, 12 cities a year, and we're gonna do a new season every 6 months. And so I'm excited about that. I haven't gone on tour in 7 years. So if you're interested in that, go to 6fbmethodologies.com. Part of that is, you know, barbers, they don't know what to invest in a lot of times. So I want to show you guys one of my first trades of the year. Okay, so if you look down here, you guys can see we started making trades in May. We are in September, so what's that? That's about 5 months, I think, about 5 months, okay? And so these are all the trades that I've done. You see, these are all profits. These are all realized gains. And these are the actual trades. And these are called options, okay? And what I do is I sell puts and I sell covered calls. But I only been doing puts because I've not lost a trade yet. I've never been assigned shares. All of these trades equaling $26,000 in about 5 months. And I do this super, maybe 1 hour a month is what I spend on this. Now, if you've been following my YouTube channel, then you know I've been documenting this for the past 5 months, 4 or 5 months. And so I started with $20,000 because you need $20,000 to start a level 3 options account. I try to be very conservative. I try to make sure that all the trades are in my favor, as anybody else does. But when you're selling puts and you're selling calls, you're on the other side. You know, you're not gonna be an overnight millionaire doing this, but you can create passive income. And if you make good money as a barber and you save money and you do like an automated deposit to your brokerage account every single week or every single month as you're making money cutting hair, do it every day. Do $20 a day into your brokerage account. Dude, that's $600 a month. And then you might have 20K in there. It's still gonna earn a return on investment because what I would do is you're either gonna get the 4 to 5% from keeping it in the brokerage account, or you could put it in the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, like an index fund, and you'll make money. By the way, these numbers are just profits from just options. It doesn't include the appreciation of my stocks, okay? Because I have stocks in the portfolio that I hold money in. You would do the same, and then when you get to 20K, then you can start doing these trades too, and you can make real passive income every single month. And as your portfolio grows, because you should keep putting money into it, keep investing, you might be able to retire one day from this. When I started my career 15 years ago, this has always been my mindset. I've learned through the years if I knew this stuff, if I knew this 15 years ago, I probably wouldn't have touched a lot of the investments that I made, because I mean, this account would be in the millions already. Just that account. If you haven't invested and you're thinking about starting and you need a very low barrier entry type of investments, this is amazing. I have a free course right now on this YouTube channel. Just look up Bossio stock investing course or something like that. And it's free. If you're in the mentorship, there's an extended version of it. But if you just want to take the free one, that's more than enough to learn and get started, and then go learn from other people. Hope that helps. Oh, and in the tour at the workshops, we will be teaching this at the workshops face to face. Pull your phone out, your laptop out. Let's learn this. All right, you guys, I am pulling up to the shop now. The B-roll that you're gonna see throughout this video of the product, barbershop, that type of thing, is gonna be what I film now. But I wanted to make sure that I capture this because I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the business behind this. You know what I mean?
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
Man, just walking through the shop today, the new shop, and recording and filming, you know, and doing the B-roll stuff. I'm looking at the shop as I'm filming. I'm like, damn, man, this is amazing. It's crazy. Like, we've been open 3 weeks, I think, and it's Tuesday, and the shop is bumping. And every barber had somebody in their chair. You know, and then, you know, I didn't get to capture this, but one of the clients that was in one of the barber's chairs, he had been wondering, what does the Tomb 45 mean? And he asked, you know, one of our barbers about it, and they read the back of the shave gel bottle, the back of the aftershave bottle, one of those. And you know, I just happened to be in the shop when he learned about it, and just him hearing his appreciation for the thought and the story behind the brand as a customer, you know, as somebody getting a haircut, it made me realize I need to share our story, what's behind the brand, more often. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to start doing a better job of branding.